Blue collar, white collar, black professors, white scholars, politicians, Dalai Lamas. Everybody in the whole wide world need hope if I be honest. I'm in that number.
Welcome to another episode of Robert Report. I'm your host, Robert Bob TV Brown. Joe Donnelly. Welcome to another episode of Robert Report. I'm your host, Robert Bob TV Brown. What's up? Joe Donnelly, congressman, former congressman from Iowa, lost his race all by himself by two simple ads. This one.
For the most part, I'm an easygoing guy, but not when Mike Braun keeps lying about my record. I split with my own party to support funding for Trump's border wall. The liberal left wants to chop defense spending. No way. I'm not into a fair fight. I'm about giving our troops the edge. I voted to extend the Bush tax cuts. And Mike Braun, he ships jobs to China. We've got to cut that out. I'm Joe Donnelly. I approve this message.
And this one.
Socialists want to turn health care over to the government.
Over my dead body.
Some in Congress want to let insurance companies deny coverage for pre-existing conditions.
Not on my watch.
The radical left wants to eliminate ICE.
I support ICE in funding President Trump's border wall.
Extremes on the left and right want to cut defense spending.
I don't want our troops in a fair fight. I want them to have the best. As President Reagan said, peace through strength. I'm Joe Donnelly. I approve this message.
Now, I don't know why Democrats believe that if they run a more center-right campaign, that they will still Trump voters. I don't know why you think that's going to happen. It's not going to happen. It never happened. Joe Manchin is the exception, but Joe Manchin is starting to lose his edge now when it comes to him running in those areas. I don't know what was wrong with Donnelly to run these two ads, pretty much painting himself anti-left. Dude, Donnelly, it is the left that is your base. You have to appease to them in order for you to win. It is proven science that if you're going to act like a Republican, talk like a Republican, quote a Republican like Ronald Reagan, if you're going to talk about how great you have been as a Democrat to buck up against your party, support Trump's wall, Trump's tax plan, then what you're trying to make everybody say, I'm more of a Republican than you think. But the bottom line is, dude, the more you act like a Republican, talk like a Republican, smell like one, act like one, vote like one, the less of your chance to actually stay in power in a Republican, pretty much Republican or purplish leaning red state. 9 times out of 10, they're going to vote you out and put in a real Republican. Why do I need a borderline Republican when I can get a real deal Republican that's going to do all that and more? Dude, this is going to be quick because there's no other science why you lost. You killed your own election with those two ads. And then you're going to trot out Hillary Clinton and all these other people. And then there's tons of videos out there where you're praising the Clintons and the Debbie Wasserman shows and things like that, knowing that a lot of independents are not going to go that way. And I keep telling you, in certain areas, in certain demographics, in certain part of the country, if you don't have the independent vote, I just say straight out, if you don't do whatever you can to gravitate toward the independent vote, offer them a reason to vote for you, you're going to lose. I don't care if you're a black man in Florida and you got about 90 to almost 100% of the black vote. If there's no independents out there, you're not going to win a red state. You'll barely win in some cases. But you don't always want to do barely. You want to do blowouts. You want to make sure you got right now. Gilliam and Abrams are at that barely losing stage. Almost like Doug Jones, a white guy who barely won. What do you think? A black person is barely going to win a state. Now, I believe these people probably won their state. Probably some election fraud involved. Voter suppression, throwing people off the rolls and things like that. I believe those things happen. But if you would have focused on what got you the nomination in the first place and continue to run with that bold and strong, If you would have continued to do whatever you can to reach out to non-voters and reach out to people in third parties, or come to some kind of census, or come to some kind of agreement or contract for them, you would have had a blowout. You wouldn't be in this neck and neck losing, or neck and neck barely winning. Well, a win is a win. No, you need to set an example. You need to blow them out. I'm looking at the races that the Justice Democrats won, and I can't lie. Them guys have had some success. In red states where a corporate Democrat won and never won. I've seen this young man, Ojeda, almost race a 60-point lead and barely lost. I see Beto barely losing to Ted Cruz when a normal corporate Democrat win and never got that close. The people in those areas, it's not about red or blue. It's about them. It's not about party. It's about them. What are you going to do to help them? You're sitting up here talking about helping Trump and what you're going to do to help what I'm doing here in Indiana, wherever you're at. I'm losing it right now. Indiana, Iowa, whatever. What I'm doing here is to support Trump, and I know that's what you want. Why don't you sit down with the people and ask what they want? Most of them want to go get a better education. Most of them don't want to be going on bankrupt paying medical bills. I can go on and on and on. But you refuse to embrace that. You say that's the radical left, the socialist left. We're not going to entertain that, when most of those people behind closed doors are saying we need that. We need a minimum wage that's livable, where I can tell my wife she ain't got to work. I can still send my kids to college and we can go on a vacation. That's all I ask. I don't ask for much. And I want Medicare where if something happened to me, I ain't got to go bankrupt, lose my house and my land, trying to stay healthy. So, dude, you lost this on your own, bruh. What a big mistake. What a big mistake. I'm Robert Bob T.B. Brown. I got nothing else to say. Donnelly, the reason you lost is you.